Okay, guys. So I'm still on the call with him. He's on this other mic. He was on the other mic for a minute, and I just now hung up with him. I kept trying to wrap it up. He has quite a few concerns about stuff that we're working through internally, not our team, but our team communicating with another team, integrating their app, that whole thing that I told you guys about. So, anyway, hello, 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 and welcome to another intermittent daily code fun thing that we've been having fun with. Today is Friday, Community Day. I have a million things to do at work, obviously. We have some deliverables that are coming up soon. And by deliverables, I mean we have products, we have the actual application itself, we have designs, diagrams, mocks, and demos, and everything like that coming up soon. So that's going to be fun to do. But I saw SCOD and Science Streams and Dukasoft and all manner of amazing people showing up, hanging out. I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, today is Community Day, which means that I open up the voice channel in Discord. Oops, as I close Discord because I'm trying to get it set up. Uh, and I invite any of our viewers or community members or whoever to hop into a voice channel in Discord, stream waiting room, I think, and then I'll invite you into the remote stream room. And did I say remote stream room? I meant stream room. Is that what I ended up using last time? Does anyone remember? It's called Discord Overlay. OBS Discord Overlay Stream Kit. That's what it was. I need to log into this real quick. But other than that, if we don't have anyone that wants to talk anytime soon, then, excuse me, how do I log in? Then I'll just be working through the issues that we ran into on Wednesday with the test. And I also had a thought on the test, so we can have a discussion about that. Oh, hello, Ramosi. Ramosi. Ray Mosozi. I want to say it's so Japanese. Masozi? Mosozi? Anyway, hi. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I'm just getting started because there's a lot going on with my current job, which is cool and fun. I hope I didn't mess up your name too much. Come on. How do I? Oh, there it is. Okay. How do I get logged in now? I am logged in. What is the channel that we're working on? Oh, you know what? I think it says the channel name in the actual overlay. Everything went dark. Dark mode enabled. What channel are you using overlay? Do. Text outline, opacity, speaking. Oh, wow. It's based off of the unique key that it gave me. Well, I guess we're going to find out which channel, which voice channel. The shirt looks black indeed. Um, it is. Let me see what's on screen. I'm going to bring you back to the welcome screen for now while I move some things around because I also don't have that set up. So I was thinking about some things regarding the tests and all of the issues that I've been having with them, especially with mocking the DB context in a situation where we're trying to test whether or not an add to database table method is working the way that it's intended. And I have some thoughts and some things to talk about and ask about. All right, who else is on the main screen? Financial management, the Figma, the project, Spotify, Jump Desktop, and those are all moved. Great and grand. Okay, here's my screen. So, for those of you that have never been here or have not been here during this, I clicked on that. That's not what I meant to click on. I meant to click on this down here. So no, it's not that channel. It is definitely this channel then. Yep, and there you go. Okay, so now at the top left corner of your screen, you should be able to see my little gravatar thing for Discord, because I am in the stream room. So if there is anyone that wants to discuss any topics using their voice, your voice will come through on the stream this time. Unlike last time when I totally screwed up and forgot to turn on that channel, and then also had other audio issues. Or the channel was on, it's just that it wasn't being output through the stream. So the recording didn't pick up our guest speakers, and we had such a good conversation. I'm jumping all over the place a little bit, so I apologize for that. But for those of you that have not seen this project before, what my intent for this project was that since I got a new job, I have not had time to I have not been able to stream my actual work, which is what I used to do. Who will work this time, TM? Hush you. I used to stream my entire day job. Like the entire time that I was working on the project for my work, or projects, I guess, I was streaming. And it was Blazor development, and it was a lot of fun working through everything with everyone. I was learning Blazor at first, and then we got better at it, and then we started developing our own components and just doing a lot of really, really cool stuff with Blazor. So then when I got a new job, I'm still working in Blazor, but I can't stream the work products that I'm doing, so I only stream on occasion. And it was still 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. Then that got cut back to now 3 days a week, 2 hours a day. And hopefully we can keep this as a steady pace without it getting too much in the way of being able to complete my work products and all of the additional stuff that got piled on top. So I wasn't expecting to be involved in a metaverse team. I wasn't expecting to be involved in pursuits to gain business from other companies, because that's a salesperson thing. But I'm not a salesperson. And then doing interviews and extra meetings about the projects and just stuff that is not really working with a consistent, allowing me to have a consistent, steady stream schedule. So with that said, with all that said, this project, I wanted to still be a Blazor project. Oh, thank you so much, Big Loud Jeff. Big Loud Jeff. It's fun to say your name all as one name. Whoops. So this project that I decided to work on during the stream is open source and is available on my GitHub if you want to look at it. And it was intended to be a full stack entire process development project so that we could still see a real world application that I intend to use being developed from beginning to end as a full stack solo dev project. Hopefully to give instruction, to give encouragement, to just have fun, maybe finally figure out how to do community related activities to include pull requests, to include just everything, just all of it. So I wanted to do this the proper way, which was start off by doing some design. So brainstorming what the project can do, sketching out some screens. Actually, I was supposed to be sketching out all the screens, but they all look pretty much the same. So I came up with some designs, and before writing any of the actual back end logic, writing tests for the business logic, and then implementing those, which we started doing. And that's my topic for today, which is what are the actual tests that I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to use BUnit, or I wanted to use BUnit so that I could do component tests, component unit tests. But I was like, I'm only going to be testing the actual business logic of my server-side services. But I was thinking that I was doing unit tests, and I'm not. I don't think I am, at least. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. But let's say that we have this get all deposit entries returns all deposit entries. The unit test is saying, can I run this method? This is the thing that I'm trying to test, and not get an error. But this test is also saying, am I getting the right data back based off of what I prepared ahead of time? So to me, that's not really a unit test as much as it is a functional test. Does this thing function the way that it's supposed to? A unit test would be, can I run this without getting an exception? Does this thing run without unexpected errors or unhandled errors? I could be wrong about that. So I'd like to hear from you if you have any thoughts on that specific topic. If you feel like it, of course, there is never any requirement for you to respond to that, to anything that I ask or say. That's out there. The reason that I thought about this was because I'm lazy. No, was because right now we're facing an issue for, let's say, the add method, the add test, I should say. When I am testing this, I want to debug this test, please. Ooh, catch it. I am getting, for example, a DB context. Come on. Come on, come on. Okay, should have started up here. Okay, so I'm getting the DB, I'm mocking the DB context factory because that's being used in my method to create a new DB context, or get or create a new DB context. And then I'm getting back the DB context options so that I can get back the same in-memory database whenever I ask for a new context manually. So here, I'm instantiating a new in-memory DB context manually. So this would be like if I'm, yeah, this is just declaring a DB context outside of this method. The end. So I'm now running into the method, which is add transaction. In this case, it's for a deposit. And in here, I'm calling that mock to create DB context, which is being mocked as give back a new DB context using the DB context options for that specific database. At least I hope. Can I breakpoint this? No. I wanted to breakpoint the actual returns async part of it. But this DB context was created. Oh. It would have been created from the same DB context options that I'm sending back. Oh my gosh. I'm getting a separate DB context options back, which means that I'm getting a new random good up here. I'm so glad you guys let me walk through this. Thank you, rubber ducks. You're the best. Okay, We're gonna and I get another follow after calling you a rubber duck. No, don't start that. Captain Commerce is here. Hello, Captain Commerce. I have been a terrible viewer. I'm sorry, but I'm always at your streams whenever I see you stream. I was there on Monday. If you guys don't know Captain Commerce, he's a fantastic streamer. He is so fun to hang out with. Give him a check. He's been working on quite a few things lately. I'm not exactly sure what you're actively working on, but his primary job is to work on not commerce related development activities. And not commerce, if you don't know what it is, there's this thing called Google that could help you figure that out, because I wouldn't be able to tell you. I know that it's an e-commerce platform that can be customized and can have add-ins and plugins and stuff developed against it. And so that's one of the things that he does. But he's also been working on a card inventory management system, essentially. And that thing is he's actively working on drinking coffee. That thing is using Blazor, and it will track any. I mean, I would assume that if you set it up yourself, it would track any collectible cards that you might have. But he's currently doing Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering with D&D, and Yu-Gi-Oh in that system. Correct me if I'm saying anything wrong if you're available to do that, Captain. But anyway, that's who he is. And he's also he streams later in the evening, which is probably easier for some people to get to versus my middle of the workday US time. Tech is Blazor, MongoDB, cards are Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. I miss the Pokemon cards. So yeah, absolutely. Good times. And he usually streams on Mondays and Fridays. So, and he's running into performance issues that he needs to look into. So he might be streaming tonight. And then you'll see other people in our community that stream, like Science. He's a streamer. He's an amazing streamer. He does science related things, nerdy stuff, showing off some really, really cool things that are old. I'll just say things that are really old. I'm pretty sure one day he's going to find a baby dinosaur encased in amber that survived somehow, and it's going to be this big. I don't know. He says timelines like 30 million years, and I'm like, I can't even fathom that. My brain just doesn't want to think that way. You're looking at a thing that is extremely old. I couldn't even think of looking at a thing that's, I don't know, 2,000 years old. That's just crazy. Breaks my brain. Truth? Okay. So anyway, let's figure out if that fixed my deposit test. Man, I feel so all over the place, and I feel bad about it. I don't mean to be all over the place. Yes, that did fix it. It works if you give it the same GUID for the in-memory database to be able to check for records that once were there. Awesome. So all of my tests now pass except for update deposit. And the reason that update deposit transaction test fails is because I haven't implemented it yet. So we'll see new not implemented exception. So that should be the last one that I need to implement in this test-driven development approach for making my deposit service. Then we're going to repeat this 2 more times using exactly the same code essentially for payments and transfers. So let's implement this one really quick. Let's make it turn green. And of course, again, being community day, feel free to come into into the stream waiting room voice channel in Discord if you have a topic you want to talk about. My favorite topics currently are metaverse related, the technology surrounding the metaverse, what your opinion or informed, informed opinion, because it's all still opinion, in my opinion, of what the metaverse is, uh, how you could see the metaverse being used. Like, how can we adopt the concept of the metaverse? Like, that's a lot of likes. For those of you that were around in the 90s, how did we go about adopting the internet as a standard thing that is just present in everyday life today? Do you see that happening with the metaverse? If so, what does that look like? Those kinds of questions. Lilu multipass. I don't know what that is. It's from Fifth Element. So I know what Fifth Element is, but I didn't know. Oh, it's been such a long time since I've watched movies. I mean, this movie. I'm listening to the quote. Multipass. I love that movie. Frog testing. Frog testing's here. You saw it in theaters a few weeks ago? Wow. The internet is crazy. I don't even need to leave my house anymore. So, I mean, that's a topic right there, Dukasoft. One of the things that I keep hearing, and I just, it grates me. It's grating to me, and yeah, I want people to be allowed to feel this way as well as be allowed to feel this way. But one of the big pushes, one of the big concerns with our current technology and the way things are going is that we're becoming more and more isolated and antisocial, and there are fewer and fewer people communicating with each other and connecting in real time, face to face, personally. And so the world is going to die because of it, or something, or someone is going to be threatened. And protesting and I have talked about this a lot. So I'm keeping those things in mind, protesting, just so you know. I'm not going back on anything that we've talked about. I'm just voicing the annoyance at this. Um, so one of the things that I heard about where some of the visionaries want the metaverse to go is because in some of the technologies that you can use with the metaverse, like VR and AR, you can have avatars that represent you. There is still a mental and physiological response. I agree with you, Fright, and hello. There's still this physiological response that you have when someone enters your, I forget what they call it. It's your personal space bubble, is the colloquial term. Um, that triggers the emotion of interacting with another person. And so the same thing happens in VR or AR when you have someone else's avatar close to you. It triggers the same response. And the other thing that uh, and let me share the actual podcast link that I'm getting this from. Oh, and I closed Spotify. The other thing that happens is when you have an avatar, you are encouraged to behave in a more social way. So that makes people want to be less introverted. And it's like, so yeah, there's a lot of issues that I have with that. Um, Is it in your episodes? No. Is it in home? It's in home. Copy this. Pasta. Okay, so that podcast is only about 30 minutes long or so, and it's worth a listen, in my opinion. One of the people at the company that I work for is doing this series on the metaverse, and in this episode, he interviews a couple of people. One of them is I can't even understand what it is that he's saying when he's talking with them. So I'm trying to read it in the description, but they made a virtual world around the same time that Second Life was becoming popular. This first guy is Metaversum. Twinity. That's why I can't understand what it is he's saying to him. So this guy that created Twinity, an early virtual online world where avatars and their spaces were based on real people and real cities, um, and Second Life, and they started just talking about, what good is the metaverse? What is it for? So for those of you that like listening to podcasts, this is probably one that you might enjoy if you're even vaguely interested in the future of the metaverse. Because I personally am trying to, and I think it will make it a commonplace thing that we all interact with. It is the Internet 2.0 kind of thing. Using Web3 technology. And yeah, the other thing that I did, I guess, that I don't want to admit, but I'm going to anyway, because I like doing this to myself. I don't know why. Is that I spent 2 hours yesterday in the evening or late afternoon, I guess, writing out. So I think I told you, but I'm a part of the metaverse group. A it's I don't want to call it R&D, but it's kind of an R&D group. It's a concept group where we're trying to make the metaverse a thing, and we're trying to help standardize terms and technologies and show proof of concepts. And we're working on a proof of concept idea right now. So anyway, I spent a couple hours, like literally 2 hours, writing up my thoughts on what I think the metaverse should be, how I would define the metaverse. And then I also posed a concept project that we could try. So I'm just waiting for feedback from if they even read it, because it was as long as a dissertation. It was pretty long. I could probably give it as a TED talk and it would fill up the entire time. But it was fun to do. I finally wrote it out and materialized my thoughts on the metaverse instead of just spewing things out during the stream. So anyway, Prog Testing was saying, I agree with the naysayers on the metaverse AR and VR. They have a point. What is it for? Yeah, so it's just another way. Well, okay, one of the simplest definitions is that it is just another way to interact with the internet. There are some things that are enhancements to the internet, but they make it less invasive. Instead of having, I mean, you can do this still in my version of the metaverse. Instead of having your face down in your phone where you're interacting with your content and whatever media you're consuming or whatever application you're interacting with, or a fully immersive VR headset where there is nothing else around you except your solo world. It is a way of uh, still interacting with real life. I mean, this is what AR is in general, which is just a technology that can be used with the metaverse, but interacting with real life as well as having your digital content that you can easily access and consume. And prog testing is here.
Yo,
Yo, let's do a mic check for you.
so, uh, yeah, is it okay?
Yep.
Good. So, I don't like the interface about the chat in Twitch. So I like speaking because it's so.
Absolutely.
Uh,
It's
but
easier to
you
get your
say,
ideas out.
yeah, yeah. So what I was thinking is, you say that the metaverse is just a new way to interact with the internet. But
Well, I
one thing, yeah,
simplistically it is.
yeah,
Yes.
okay, okay. Like in essence,
Yes.
because what I was thinking is that one of the options you have with the metaverse is that you can create a world just like in games uh, that is not possible to do in this, how can I say, day-to-day reality. So basically, you can have two realities, this day-to-day reality, and then you
Two
can,
plus, but yeah.
yeah, so it's like one plus one. But there are, so I have seen some things with AR and VR that is very interesting. And one of those things is I have a friend who is a psychologist, and she uses the HoloLens or the glasses to
Mhm.
treat anxiety and stuff like agoraphobia with those things.
Cool.
You go into the metaverse and you get exposed to spiders in a very controlled way,
Right.
and they have enormous success with it.
Absolutely.
So what I'm thinking is that this kind of abstraction of reality is more safe than reality. So you can approach things like that without having any real consequences. And that is a
I mean, you'll
really,
still have
really,
psychological consequences if you approach it the wrong way.
yeah, but the metaverse spider won't be able to kill you.
I don't
You
know
know what
about
I
that.
mean?
I don't know.
Yeah. Die from shock? Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Again, being
Yeah, I'm
scarred
just,
psychologically and emotionally are still viable things that could deteriorate your quality of life.
yeah, but exposure therapy has been proven to work
Yeah.
in many
Yeah, true.
cases.
So like you said, in this controlled way. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I've also seen people that are going into surgery that go through the surgery in the metaverse before they go, and their anxiety levels are reduced by a lot. So there are things here that can improve the quality of life, but that is just the first thing I can think of. So all the rest is basically just a big unknown.
I mean, not all of it. So there's the entertainment industry where you are attending concerts in VR, AR, whatever else with multiple people. And so the game industry obviously has already done this. They've created Fortnite events where it's an actual concert with actual performers, um, and then you're using your virtual self to attend those. So just to kind of give away one of the thoughts that I have, it's that the metaverse is meta. And I don't mean Meta the company. I mean it is a meta concept where the metaverse is both the consolidation of all of the applications and tools and protocols, and it's just like the internet. It's akin to the internet if you think about the metaverse that way. But any company could create a single metaverse, and that individual metaverse is the world in which you interact with that has digital assets that you can interact with. It has metadata, about things around you. So it could be when you look at someone, we're in this futuristic, um, we'll call it dystopia in this case, thing where you look at them and it gives their name. If you know them, it shows their name above their head or whatever. Um, that could be interacting with that particular metaverse that displays people's names and information. It can be used in industrial settings where you're trying to design this factory and make sure that all of the pipes are going to the right places, all of the structural integrity is there, whatever. So there are plenty of applications for using VR and AR technology as part of a metaverse experience. But you could also use your phone, you could also use a desktop, PC, and then whatever new technology comes out. So it's not the technology that's being used, it's the experience itself in combination with the consolidation of all of the experiences as the big metaverse. Confusing enough?
It's not confusing because the confusion is that this is basically on the drawing board
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And also another aspect of this is that people are not really on board with the metaverse yet.
True. Very true.
So so there is a lot of unknowns. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that it's
Mm,
very
mm.
uh, uh, before the mass. Yeah, I'm looking for the word. Mass adaptation
Take your time.
happens. We cannot really know. So what I'm saying is that should you invest time in the metaverse? That is a big for me at least.
So it's a risky endeavor because
Um,
of the many unknowns.
yeah, for now. And also, I'm not convinced that it's so helpful. I just laid out some things I like about it, but
Hmm.
uh, what am I supposed to create in the metaverse?
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What am I going to use it for?
Like me as a developer, or me as a human, what am I going to do with the metaverse? Like I always think
Yeah,
of it from a developer standpoint because I mean, I want to write software for the rest of my life, even if it means using no code, low code solutions like we talked about in Discord. Or that was even on last Friday that we talked about that, I think. Um,
So there's also this thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately.
what is
I
it?
think you can. I think you can make a algorithm for this, and that is that the more you know, the more competent you get, the more confusion arises because there's so many things you can do.
Yeah. Too many
Yeah,
possibilities creates confusion.
yeah.
And
I
often it creates analysis paralysis and inaction.
yeah. I'm getting to that point now that I'm actually
Mm,
starting to be able to yeah do a lot of interesting stuff. But there is it's so there are so many things you can do, and there's only
right.
24 hours minus
Right.
10 hours of sleep. So
Right.
we're
10
down to
hours.
14 hours.
That's way too much sleep for me. But I mean, that's how much sleep I get on the weekend, so I guess I can't really say that.
Yeah. So I mean, I have been quietly developing my own system for how to choose which project to work on.
So you even wrote a project to choose what project to work on.
Yeah, that is made for me, my
Right.
personality,
Yeah, yeah. Very specific to you. Very TI.
and it's very. I've used it, and it's very effective for me. Basically, I put up a triad, like a triangle with 3 points. And on one hand, I have business, and on the other hand, I have activism, and on the top, I have impact.
What was the first one? I'm sorry.
Business.
Oh, okay.
business, activism, then impact.
Uh-huh.
And then I weigh them. So I have like 10 projects. I weigh each of the vectors. And then I see what score they come out on. And then I
Okay.
list them. And the ones that come out on top is the one I do. And that works for me. But my point is
Right.
that this type of vectoring has revolutionized my ability to choose. So maybe I encourage people to tinker a bit with that for their own sake
Mhm.
if they have trouble choosing, finding their own way to choose,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
something like that.
no, I completely understand and agree with you. Some external mechanism that will assist you with making decisions, essentially,
Yeah.
based off of things that are personal to you.
Yes. So just take the guesswork out
Hmm.
and just weigh them cold-heartedly.
Yeah, and that's definitely an approach that would work for quite a few people, actually. Um, and I want to piggyback off of it without taking your idea or making it any kind of diminished because it's a really good idea. In
And
in my
the reason why
situation, go ahead.
I
Yeah.
use the triangle is because you don't want too many choices either in the
Yeah,
vectoring.
exactly.
So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So I just limited it to three, and you can of course swap in whatever it's important to you in those three.
Yeah. So, like in my case, I have a high emphasis on my value system, and that drives what I do. So it would be easy for me to translate that for myself. However, for people whose value system is dependent on the moment, like how do I feel right now about this particular topic based on what I know, it's going to change often or potentially change often. And so they don't have a static value system that they could turn into this triad, like you said, that will apply to every day of their life.
Uh, I see what you're saying. That was my point. This is not for them. But at the same time, why? How do they get things done?
In the moment, so there are people that can do this and I can't. In the moment, I feel like this is the important thing, so I'm going to do this.
Okay, so the project tomorrow is then abandoned.
Yeah, exactly. And there are people that can do
Oh,
that.
oh, yeah, okay. So that sounds very ineffective long term.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be effective for them as far as this is now a meaningful life for them because they are experiencing all of these different things. But I guess to get to what your tool is for, it's more specifically, hello, Willie Ryer,
Really rare,
um,
really very rare.
really rare. The tool that you're indicating people could use is something that will help them get unstuck when they're having trouble making decisions as well.
Uh, yes. Um, yeah, I guess just had to come up with something that would. Ah, I just made a tool and I've been tinkering with it. It works. I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I also think that there is this concept called shark habits, if you know what that is.
I've heard of it. I don't know if it was maybe you that mentioned it to me, but just go ahead and tell us what it is.
Yeah, I told you. So it's about a shark takes big bites, like a big chunk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I've implemented that for the last couple of years, and Jesus Christ, how effective you get. It's like, so for me, it's I make the coffee ready before I go to bed, so I just hit the button and then the coffee starts. My vitamins are out, and everything I should do is planned out. So I do everything in one big bite in the morning. My clothes are
Right.
laid out. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to spend cognitive capacity. and stuff like that. So I've been trying to extend this into my professional life too, and there are a lot of things that can be optimized in this way when it comes to shark habiting. No, shark habits, not short.
Oh, I
Captain
thought that
Commerce.
Captain Converse was trying to come up with another term, and I was like, what are short habits? I thought he was saying that this sounds to him like short habits, but he was asking what you were saying. I get it. My bad.
Yeah,
Short
okay. Yeah, but so I'm thinking I'm going to
habits.
experiment trying to put this into the business and the financial stuff as well, and see if that uh, can be interesting as well. I guess as a developer and all that, you're like a constant mad scientist trying to figure stuff out. You know how it is.
No idea.
No, no. So yeah.
It's not every day.
Yeah, every single day. No, so that has been interesting. I'm going to tinker with it. But having said that, it would have been interesting if I could get more people on board to try it, at least for one
Hmm.
project, especially
Yeah,
the
and
triangle.
yeah, so both of those. So we definitely
Hmm.
understood the first concept, and just to kind of restate the shark habit, it is finding a series of things that can be done ahead of time or in one big chunk that
Yes,
you can just take care of all of those things like on a routine basis kind of thing.
yes,
And so to set yourself up for that, something that you do is in the evenings, you prepare all of these things, you lay them out so that in the morning you can get them all done as soon as you get up.
yes. But that is just my personal life. I'm trying to
Right.
extend this
Yeah.
into my professional life.
Yeah. And so you're wondering, or not wondering, but you're indicating that you would like to see people adopting this type of methodology into projects somehow.
Yeah, at
And
least
do you have
to try
ideas on
it.
how that would work?
Yeah, that is the thing. I would like for something like our discussion to be bouncing ideas off because I don't know how to do it, but I think it's a good
Hmm.
idea to at least try it. If it doesn't work, you can just toss it out the window.
I
I
can
think there's a
kind of
lot,
think of. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I think there's a lot that's laying, what do you call it, laying on the table
Hmm.
that we're not tapping into.
Yeah, I think that we could look at something like Git Flow or uh, what's agile approaches with user stories and features and tasks and stuff that could be akin to this, where you're laying out all of the different items, itemizing them, prioritizing them, assigning this score in your triad for which one should I work on next, kind of thing, and then putting all of the related tasks together, and that's your shark habit.
Yeah, interesting.
Because
Okay,
that's
that is.
the parallel that I have in my head for what you were talking about applied to programming or projects.
Oh, have you done anything like this?
Yeah, I mean, like right now, the project that I'm working on for work is oriented in here's a user story that we have already prioritized based off of the customer's ask, and these are the tasks that are needed to complete that user story. So here's all the ones that are assigned to you. This is the one that's active next because of our conversations with the client. So finish this one,
Okay,
which
yeah,
trickles down to me saying, all right, in order to finish that, these are the things that I'm going to do. Like at the end of the day, I'm usually thinking through these things. Of course, you already know my brain. Um, so I'm
yeah,
thinking
I
of
do.
tomorrow morning, here are the things that I need to work on in this order so that I can accomplish this in a timely manner.
Yeah, okay, so you do this in your head. right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that putting this into some sort of system that is not in your head would be more effective?
I feel like I would do that if it didn't feel like it would just add to more time and prevent me from accomplishing the task. But the argument I'm sure can be made that you'll be saving time in the long run because you'll have this plan laid out and you won't really diverge from it or get squirrel moments as easily.
Yeah. So this probably does not apply to you because you're so disciplined.
I don't know about fully disciplined, but I can't
Oh, but
write
you're
as
you're
much.
up there. You're up there in terms of discipline.
Well, like, I mean, if you look at my streams, so let's say we applied it to the streams, I would actually get this project done if I followed that pattern because I would know what I'm working on the day of the stream, and then I would have less room for sidebars and stuff. So in this
Yeah,
case, writing it out, having a plan that everyone knows about, especially, would make me feel okay with following through with that and not being as engaged, I guess, or as squirrely.
yeah, yeah. I need to think how to do this. Like, should it be an app? Should it be I mean, so did I show you the podcast scheduling tool I was a part of written in F sharp?
No, no, you have not.
Okay, so well,
At least not in English. If you showed me something in Norwegian, I mean Norwish, then I don't know.
I can't remember. Maybe I did. But anyhow, so in that project we used this type of approach where everything is laid out in chunks that you can do, and you always do them first before you do the next task. So you
Oh
don't
yeah,
jump
yeah.
from thing to thing. You go with the flow, or the flow that it or the flow of the way it's written. Because when you have written it, you have committed yourself to it. There's no wavering. You just do it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I'm
that's
going to, yeah,
that's definitely a thing. And again, I can see a lot of cases where that works for me as well because I do like, and I talked with you about this before, but I really do like flow state. And then I can't remember who, but someone gave me an article on flow state being bad, and I'm like, they're making some really good arguments about it. So I'm kind of agreeing with that. But then I went to a scientific approach to flow state. I watched a video on that recently, actually. Let's see if I can find it. Where it's like flow state is really productive and high quality products are generated from going into flow state.
yeah. I remember that discussion. Wasn't it Uncle Bob who
Is that who it
criticized
was?
flow state?
Probably. But
Yeah,
like this is the dude that I listened to recently, Stephen Kotler, that talked about the actual science behind flow state and having flow state applied in different industries. And because it was more broad of a thing and seemed more backed by empirical data, I tend to trust that more
yeah, of
than
course.
what seemed like an opinionated, based on experience, which is still good. It still has merit, but yeah, based on experience talk, I guess.
I guess picking from both is the right thing to do.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is. Yes,
non-dualistically.
non-dualistically. Okay, I'm going to not watch that now, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to look at it.
He has a shorter
Nice.
version of it where he says essentially the same things in fewer words, but that video was just, I really liked it.
It's too bad it wasn't named Stephen Kotlin. So we make the irony
Kotlin.
Kotlin. Okay, yeah. So that is what I've been working on. I made a new Flutter app this week in F Sharp.
You're doing your Scrum.
Look, let me repeat. I made a Flutter app with F Sharp. So
Flutter app with F
Flutter
sharp,
is
where you
is
need to
Dart.
use Dart, and you
But
did it with F sharp.
yeah, there's this transpiler called Fable 4. It transpiles F sharp to Dart, and it's
Wow.
probably about you write 70% less code. At least I compared the amount of lines that you have to write in F sharp versus Dart. So I am definitely going to continue doing Flutter with F sharp.
That's crazy. Yeah, like I don't even know that I understand what. Maybe I do. Now that I'm thinking about it too hard. But what exactly is Flutter? Is it just a way to create user interfaces using a different language? Is it akin
Uh,
to something like WPF or
so originally Flutter was a cross-platform mobile framework. So you can make mobile apps for iOS, Android, etc.
so full application? So it's not just the framework, but the language that you used? Like, is it akin to .NET more? Is it
Yes.
akin to a specific project type?
Okay, so let me see.
Think
Um,
Xamarin, but not garbage, says Kung Fury Keyboard.
yeah, so but you can say that Flutter now is like Maui because you can make web and desktop apps.
Okay.
So it's backed
But
by Google.
Maui itself is not really a framework, where Flutter is a framework.
Uh,
That's where I get confused. It's like we call Flutter, and I have seen it called a framework before. So does that mean that it is the compilation engine as well
okay,
as
so
the runtime, as well as, yeah,
no, yeah, so I think the better thing to call it is a kit.
a kit? Ooh, that makes more sense to me.
Flutter is an open source UI software development kit, but it says that it's an application framework.
Yeah.
So
So framework
yeah,
is just so overloaded, just like everything else in software development. In this case, framework just means like here are the structural things that you can use to develop an app, versus a framework like .NET, which are the instrumentation and tooling that are needed to develop, compile, and run the app. So
okay,
something more
so you
like an
have the
SDK.
Flutter engine.
Ah,
So you have the Flutter engine. That's kind of the engine of it, of course.
mm-hmm.
And then the Dart language. So I guess can you equate Flutter engine to .NET runtime? Uh, may
I would maybe equate it more to something like Blazor at that point.
okay, fine. I look at it as a toolkit where you can write apps that can interact with APIs and stuff like that. It's very very simple.
I
The
think
reason why I use
Kung Fury
Flutter is
Keyboard
because
was
I
saying that Maui is a framework. I think that's what he was saying.
Maui
Yeah,
Maui Maui is a okay. So Maui is a framework.
I'm asking Google.
Yeah, because
It is.
I'm I, I'm always confused because it runs on the .NET platform.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly is a framework then?
Yeah. So now defining framework so that I can fix my misunderstanding of all of the concepts where a thing is called a framework. Because we have JavaScript frameworks, we have CSS frameworks, We have .NET Framework, which is a platform apparently and not an actual framework. And then .NET Core.
MAUI is a set, I guess, of platform APIs.
Yeah, I mean, this
Uh,
is definitely something to discuss so we can understand, but yeah.
you know,
Because I mean, we look at the common term or common definition of framework, and it's just the set of rules governing how a thing is made or operates, right? That's
I,
my
I look at it
term
like this.
definition.
This is how I look at it. It could be wrong. I think it's wrong. Do you know what Lego is? Like the
Yeah.
pieces you put together. And then do you know what Duplo is? The bigger ones.
Yes, actually, they just talked about. I heard it for the very first time this morning, actually.
Okay, so
It
I
was
look
really
at the different frameworks as different, like .NET is Lego and Java Spring is Duplo. That's how I look at it. It's the same, but different sizes and maybe made for different people, you know.
kind of like the metaverse versus a metaverse. Sorry,
Yes,
I went there.
Lego is the thing you step on all the time. Yeah, so that's why I prefer Duplo because the knots on it is a lot bigger and softer.
Yeah, I guess I knew what they were for a long time. I just didn't know that that's what they were called.
Yeah, okay. So my point is that I don't know what the framework is if we're talking about the depth of it. I just know
Mhm,
how it works because you can have like a MVC within a framework, but you can
mhm.
also have like a minimal API within a framework. So what is actually the difference? It's like everything is contained within the framework
Right.
with different principles and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. If you want to make mobile apps, I suggest Flutter and don't do Xamarin Forms or Maui because, yeah, let's just be straight. Maui is crap.
I love Maui.
I know, but there has to be.
It's like the actual interaction to design the non-Blazor portions of it when you're doing Blazor Hybrid at least is hard. It's super hard for me. And I would say impossible. Impossible. I will never
But
be able to do it now. That's a lie.
look, have you been able to do this? Things that they say it can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have been able to make a desktop app, iOS
I'm doing
app,
that now
Android app,
for work. Yeah,
and it works on all different platforms.
correct. The thing that I
Okay.
haven't been able to do is customize the experience of the shell or the window or the overall app itself because I don't know much about XAML. I don't know. Yeah. But this thing here, like I think this one is broken. I don't know why this one doesn't build.
Nice, because it's Maui. That's why.
It's because it's Maui, obviously. Could not find Android.jar, so my SDK is not installed.
Yeah,
Are you gonna prompt me to install it or what?
one of the things that I've seen as a counter argument to using Maui is that, oh, a game developer just appeared, a wild game developer.
A wild game developer has just appeared.
So the thing is that the reason why I don't want to spend time too much going into Maui is because Microsoft has a tendency to drop things.
Hmm. So people keep saying.
So does Google, which
Yeah, yeah.
is
I mean, lots
so
of people. reasonably saying. I wasn't saying it as a negative. That is an incorrect statement or not plausible because it is.
So yeah, so yeah, I mean, Xamarin Forms it just died because
It
Microsoft stopped.
evolved into Maui. What do you mean it died?
Yeah, so you're like you're becoming like me. I'm the Azure fanboy, and you are the Maui
Let me tell you about
fanboy.
F sharp.
Oh yes.
But yeah, no, it's definitely still plausible that Maui will not have enough support. So the thing that would, I think, encourage Microsoft to drop a product is if it's not used. And so if Maui is not
Um,
used over time and they find that it's not popular and it's not serving the need, then they'll find something else to replace it.
okay. Yeah. No, I totally I understand that. It's just I don't know. I like Flutter. Oh, look.
Irish John Games just unfriended Dukasoft forever because he called him English John Games. That's sad.
All right, I get it now. Yeah, you're angry down that part of the world.
Wouldn't it have been funny if I implemented a command to silence someone based off of bang friend?
Or
Oh,
if you can make like
Thendo.
a line that goes through the nickname. They're like a
Oh, that
line.
would be
They're not
Hi,
crazy.
allowed to.
friends.
Oh, look.
Before you start, Thindle, I would like to say that I've been watching a Swedish show lately that is really cool.
A Swedish
Like
what?
it's
Show
Hmm.
on Netflix. You may have heard of this little app called Spotify.
I've heard of it once or twice.
There's a show that is documenting, it's a docudrama essentially about Spotify. It's really good.
Ah, I need to see it then.
It's
can
really
you
good.
turn down your mic a little bit, Thindle?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second.
Is it because I'm just too quiet? Because he sounds about the same volume as you do, prog testing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so what does the people in chat say?
They
Holy
say
sh!
bang Thindle because he's smexy.
Yes, he's very
At least Irish
smacksy.
John Games does.
Ooh la
It's
la.
Thindal.
I'm not sure
Wait,
what
is
it
that
is.
Thindle? Yeah, it is. See the name at the top left?
Yeah. Hello. Is it better?
Yes.
Kung Fury Keyboard says that it's too quiet for him. I think I'm just
Oh,
too quiet for you, prog testing.
okay. So
Hi,
basically,
Jern. I'm
I
your
uh
biggest fan.
I put up the volume so I could hear you one line. So you need to start screaming into the microphone so the levels
Oh.
get even.
Oh. Or you could right click on my name in the stream room and then turn up my volume there.
Ooh, you can do
Yeah,
that?
it's at full. Oh,
It
look.
is.
I was
I had
oh,
no idea you could do that.
me
Yeah.
neither. That
So
had to
each
be me
individual
feet.
person, I mean, you can leave your volume at that, Thindle, and I'll turn you up
Yeah. Yeah.
so that prog testing doesn't have
Awesome.
to
So,
fiddle with
how
his
are you guys?
spam. How are you?
We have been
I'm
talking
good.
about the deeper parts of the human mind.
Hmm.
I have been bashing Maui. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's a good day.
Yeah. And Duke was evil too, Jern.
Very.
Or Jern. Got his Irish sensibilities all up in a twist.
Not just evil.
Is it beyond evil? It's like beyond meat.
Beyond good and evil.
I can't believe it's not evil.
Spreadable.
Yes.
When you say it so soft, it makes it seem less evil than it actually is.
But Jern,
Evan.
Ireland is a part of the United Kingdom, right? No, it's not.
You know what happened?
Oh no!
Yes.
Lost a viewer. Man down.
I'm sorry, Jern. I
The
love
views and
you.
opinions expressed in this podcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of this channel. What? This is not a podcast.
And also, the views and opinions that Thindle expresses are not necessarily the views and expression, whatever that Thindle
It's really
actually
hard to
thinks
say,
and
isn't
or
it?
believes. Yes,
True.
Jern, I love you. Please love me back. I'll be so lonely otherwise.
Friend gift list
I
removed.
have no friends. Well, I
And
have
then he
Ryan.
gets a shout out.
Oh,
Thank you to Kasad. Guys, Rise of Piracy. Irish
yes.
John Games.
Rise of Pirates is one of the reasons that, I'm not quite sure if I like Jern or not. Because he still hasn't given me a key.
0.1 gives it that much tip?
It's like, he's just dangling it in front of our faces, like, look what I have, look what I have, you can't have it yet.
Yeah, you're the one being mean to us, Irish John Games. You're gonna be like, early access. And we'll all be like, all right, it's wishlisted. We're gonna buy it the minute it comes out. And you're like, I'm not gonna release it for you. Early access for everyone else.
How do you remove minus minus? That must mean a plus plus then. If you remove a negative, then you add one, right? So what happens if you add one to the string friends? Is that a friends one?
I don't know. It's breaking my brain being too hypothetical.
What kind of
We're
language
into
is this?
JavaScript territory here.
Yeah, what kind of language is this?
That must be
Thingle's too
JavaScript.
clever.
What does that mean? C++? What is that? Is it minus? It's actually C minus.
It's
It's really
terrible.
bad.
Console log fec is more than Thindle. All right. I have no idea what that means, but I love you, Jerk. Anyways, how
today?
are you? What are we
I asked you
doing? What's
first.
happening? I
asked
just
you
got
first.
home. Well, I just got home.
Okay.
I was at a friend's eating free food. Before that, I was at work trying to earn money for food. And that's been my day so far.
Trying to? Is it like if you
Yeah, I
succeed, you
kind
get
of
food?
failed a little bit today.
Oh, okay.
But weird week, weird stuff. Looking forward to a weekend where I can work without being interrupted by customers.
Yes, customers, the worst thing, the worst kind.
Yeah. They're
Those that actually pay your bills.
yeah. Running a company would be much easier if you didn't have to, handle customers and make them give you money. They should just give you money either way.
Yeah, so an interesting thing about that, what you just said there, is that if you remember Bell Labs,
Bell Labs, yeah. Yep.
yeah,
Where
so
everyone went to steal UI and UX and everything back in the 80s.
yeah, in the 70s too. But the point is that their business model was so that the Bell Labs, the people that worked there were just paid. They had nothing
Yeah.
to do. They
No.
just got money, and then you see what happened. Unix was made, C was made, C++ was made.
Was
Ample.
Yarn and
Oak.
was Kernigan Ritchie at Bell Labs?
I only know Brian Carrington.
Kernigan? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not so familiar with the whole labs. My point was that they just got
They
paid.
just gave them money and like do cool stuff.
Yes, and the most cool stuff was just produced. So there is a point in this customer bashing. It is actually annoying.
Jern, I think C minus minus would be C without pointers, which would make it pointless.
Let's see what you did there.
I actually figured that thing out as I was saying it. That, it would be pointless.
That is pretty impressive.
Yes. I did it by
Every
mistake.
house new stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I think I'll stick to my programming career. Thank you very much.
Oh, that was really fun.
Oh, I can't find the symbol for flat.
What do you mean Norwegian?
Space.
Hey, Jern, that's like calling you British. You ass.
I think that is the point. But I am Norwegian, and
Prog is. I'm not.
Yeah, but so I'm actually half Swedish because Norway was under Sweden for a long time. Remember?
Yeah. Yes, I do. And I also remember our total insanely stupid thing we did back in, I think, 2005. You did so much earn independence as you asked nicely, and we were like, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But we had a contract saying that we had 100 years where we could take you back.
Yes.
Yes, Norway is now Swedish again, and you found oil, and we didn't take you back because dumb.
Yeah.
Like, we could have just taken you back, emptied the oil fund, stolen a few fjords, and then you can be independent again. But those things are ours now. So
that's why it's very funny when you have Swedish jokes because of that. It all makes sense when you have Swedish jokes and think about that little thing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
platforms.
Yesterday, Sindel, I made a Flutter app.
Yeah.
With F#.
I know of one person who actually likes using F#.
That's me.
I don't think he's here. Okay, then I know two people who like F#. And you know what the worst thing is? They're both in Norway, and they're both at least 50% Swedish, because the other guy's 100% Swedish, but working in Oslo.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yes, but he is like mad level genius. I'm just toying around with the basics.
I don't know who you're talking about. Is it someone I should
know?
Heck, he's Mr. Range or Mr. Onge on Discord. Fulle Snabel on Twitch.
Yes, and why isn't he here?
Snavel?
Oh, how's that pronounced?
Fulle Snabel. It means the ugly trunk. Like in, elephant trunk.
So an elephant's nose.
Yes. Jern, Norwegians are a mistake of Sweden's.
They're a mistake. So much
kind of like how the Danish are a garbage language. Danish is a garbage language for garbage people.
Welsh?
Welsh?
Danish. I mean,
Danish.
Danish is the worst kind of language, and I say that politely.
Yes.
Norway also used to be Danish, which makes this whole thing exceptionally confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot understand them.
No.
No.
It's like
No.
they're Swedish, but they want to be German, so they decide to be Icelandic.
Greenlandic.
Yeah, Greenlandic. They can't speak.
No.
No.
And also.
And I have a reason to hate them.
Good.
Like really hate them, because Sweden and Denmark have a shared world record in amount of wars fought between two countries.
Oh.
Not sure what it was, but it's slightly above 50 somewhere. So we've attacked each other more than 50 times and like actually declared war. We don't have the best of histories.
Bet you wouldn't say that to Mads Mikkelsen's face. This is Irish John Games.
If Mads Mikkelsen decided he wanted to meet me, I would say it to his face. Don't worry.
I would cry.
But we've also got, we're siblings. We'll fight with each other, but if anyone else comes poking around at us, there will be hell to pay.
We will fight them together.
So the thing about Sweden is that you're very good, very nicely placed. You cannot
right
be
in the middle
from any sides. Yes.
Exactly.
There's no.
Exactly. It's like no matter how we're going to be attacked, they have to attack someone else first.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, on every side, actually.
Yeah. Well, it can always go off Nord Stream.
Yeah. Well, who knows what happened there?
Well, someone blew up a pipeline.
Yeah.
Someone.
Hey,
I'm not going to say who's the main called the main suspect, but there's now one less deep sea pipeline in the world.
I think it was the Irish that did it.
Yes, definitely the Irish. I think Jern came over in a pirate ship and aimed a cannon downwards.
Yes, there we go.
He wouldn't have won himself. He would have sent automated ships. Come on.
That pirate
automated
ship
pirate ships?
Yes.
Oh. Pirate ships. But Thindel, we're going to have a serious discussion right now.
Serious?
I want to pitch a little idea to you.
Pitch away.
So I made a little system for better decision making, and I want you to hear your opinion. So here's what I did. As you get more competent, you get more opportunities. So I needed a system to narrow down what I could do. So basically, I made a triangle where I put in the left corner business, right corner activism, and at the top impact. And then I weigh all of these three, and then I list the let's say I have 10 projects, and then I list them, and then I do what's on the top. And those that has the highest score. Now you can swap out what's important in your triangle, whatever is important to you. I just chose those for the examples. Now, what do you think about my little tool?
I'm picturing the thing that you can have on your CVs with it's usually like a pentagram or an octagram or something with like a colored area showing your proficiencies. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing in my head, but I'm probably way off from what you mean, right?
No, that is exactly what I mean.
Yeah, only it's like different per project.
Yeah, so I vector them or give them points, like from 1 to 10 on each, and the project that has the highest amount of points is the one I do.
Ah, the one that fits you best, or the one? I mean, are you are you ranking the business use, or how much you want to do with the project, or how good a fit it is with what you know how to do? Do you know what I mean? Like, is your skills that you're ranking, or the end result of the application you want to build?
No, what I'm ranking is basically how invested am I on all of these three. So I measure three important things for me.
Yeah.
And then I pick the project that has the highest score on all three.
Yeah.
In sum.
Yeah, it doesn't sound stupid. Sounds smart.
Good.
It's like what fits the most of your boxes. What checks the most of your boxes right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
One line. What is wrong with your config file?
Rogue. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
He
Which
killed
one?
it.
Which one was the broken one? It was a while ago. I've already moved to like
that
16
one.
other.
That's a CS proj, right?
Yes. Let's investigate. So for those of you that don't know, Thindle made a tool a million billion years ago that is super duper helpful called Don't Dox Yourself.
And I need to work more
Visual
on
Studio extension. And so what it does is it will hide any keys or any values when you're using something that has this sort of key value display type of thing, such as XML, JSON, XAML, pickle, soup. So if you just look up don't docs, then you'll see it right up there at the top. And it's good for presenting, it's good for streaming, it's good for a million billion things, as I said. So it's not supposed to do this unless it can't parse the XML file, and so I'm showing them this page.
Yeah. Something is going wrong with the parsing here.
It is preventing everything. It could be all of the comments.
No, shouldn't be. It's more probably something in like supported those platform version. All those strings. That's messing it up.
Are you thinking? Yeah. So if you just create a new
in the condition
new Maui project in Visual Studio, you should get pretty much this exact thing. The only thing I just now did was move these out.
Awesome. Then I will try that.
Yeah, this is a basic CS proj for a Maui.
Yeah. Then I will try that. I still need to set up more unit tests, and I have an idea for how to make everything, not as slow. So there is a plan.
Oh, wait. This is what happened. I didn't realize this bar was for Don't Dox Yourself. The bar at the top that says the extension encountered an issue.
I know a couple of things that could be more performant, and I'm guessing that since this file is failing, it keeps trying it over and over again.
Yeah, and so it's just taking too long and it doesn't know how to...
Yeah.
How do I disable and re-enable it so that we can try this file again?
I think it is enabled already. Unless you click the disable
normally
this
it would
extension,
have
then it's on.
Yeah. Normally it would have the enable button if it was disabled.
Yeah.
It'll be disabled the next time.
Yeah, but that's great. Then I have a file that I can break things with, which is the first step to unbreaking them.
Unless this update is yours. How long ago did you update? No, it's not yours.
It's fairly long ago.
It's LiveShare.
I haven't released anything in a while, but I've done some code, but mostly on the, making sure things work end of things. But apparently it doesn't. Hey, it is disabled.
Well, I disabled it from clicking on the thing just to see if disabling it and re-enabling it.
Okay. Yeah, but okay, Maui, default CS proj file.
These bastards.
So you never said, what are you doing? Are you trying to set up like
I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking with you guys and listening to you guys talk. I was working on the test and implementing the update deposit method, but then I just switched to listening to you guys talk and discussing with you. But right now what I'm doing is trying to get the Maui project to build. And it's telling me that I'm missing some Android SDKs, even though I just finished installing 32 and 31. Maybe I'll just restart the application.
Shouldn't it be enough to have the last one?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, although I mean 33 isn't installed from before
It
under the
says
build
to be
tools.
installed. Oh yeah, because I just now checked the box, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it didn't have that.
Yeah, we'll see.
But then it's saying that, you don't have a reference to dependency injection, which also feels weird.
Oh yeah, that's just because it didn't build. So
It's under Net 6 Android, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the project there, it had something Net 6 Android, I think.
Oh yeah, both of them are. So it has Net 6 Android, iOS, Mac, and then it's failing on those. But it's also failing on Windows. A couple of Windows. Like I could build the Maui project if I just removed targeting Android. But I want it to target Android so that I could show that we could use the exact same UI and application and have it run on both desktop and Android.
Yeah, that's kind of the point with Maui.
Yes. But Prog Testing
I
was
don't know.
asking, have you
Is
gotten
the idea
anything to
to
work with
replace
cross-platform?
WPF? Do you know that?
No. So I think WPF is still going to be its own thing. Well, sorry, that is getting updated with no, it's UWP. Anyway, there's another project type that is going to replace desktop development. Cross-platform development. This is supposed to essentially integrate Xamarin Forms with WPF, with desktop development.
Mm-hmm.
So doing mobile and cross-platform and desktop in one project.
Yes. And that's what I meant
didn't
with
finish.
VPF being killed off, since,
VPF.
Maui can be run on a computer, so that kind of covers the WPF area.
No, VBF.
And it has happened before that, Microsoft has gone, oh, we have this shiny new thing, but we're not going to
Prog
do anything
Testing
to the
was
old
just
one. I mean,
talking
it'll
about that
keep
too.
being supported and keep working, and then they kill it a few years later.
That's exactly what I was ranting about before.
That's funny.
Nice.
Okay, that's better.
Nice.
I'm gonna get rid of the iOS again because I don't have a Mac.
And then all of a sudden they bring back WinForm support for NetCore.
Yeah.
I'm like,
NetCore.
huh?
Or I guess Net 6 is when they started bringing back Net 5, maybe.
I think Net 5 was the version when it came back, yeah. But it was gone for a while, and I mean, it was honestly kind of dying off unless you were doing legacy. And then they added to something that will require, like, changing every dependency and everything to be able to run it. So I'd say that would be mostly for new development. They've been pushing WPF on that for ages, so why port WinForms? And if they're going to do that, why not port web forms? For Christ's sake.
Aren't you the god of web forms?
I am the God, the Lord, and the Savior of web forms. Which is why I'm currently converting it all to MVC.
Yeah.
Because it can't stay back in framework forever.
This is being so weird.
Well, I can, but it's kind of going to fall out of support soon. And something security.
I would love to work on porting something to a more modern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my big stream project, and it's actually going quite well. Famous last words, but I'm seeing the end of the tunnel with the outside, like the front end of the solution being converted. I have the massive backend and administration part left, and I need to build repositories before I can upgrade to all the way. I need to change my Entity Framework project to EF Core so I can compile it for Net Standard. And I'm going to do it properly and add, what is it called? Repositories for that. So do it the way you're supposed to instead of cheating.
Cheating on what?
Well, I cheated before. All my code was in code behind files. Imagine putting
cheated
all
before
of
the
your
stream,
code
too.
right into the erase of use. Felt like a good idea at the time. It wasn't.
9.
9.
But since we're on the topic of Maui, I can't be converted. I'm not
That's
a
okay.
fundamentalist. I'm not fundamentalistically in love with Flutter. But if there are any instance tutorials on Maui video call app.
Video?
Video, yes.
Yeah, well, not video, but they have their podcast app that is Maui, which shows multi-user streaming the same content that I'm sure could be adapted to streaming video across two connected clients.
So what you could also do is you go to a ton of conferences and you find Ed Charbonneau or Sam Basu,
I don't know
whatever,
how
you
to
know who
pronounce
I
his last
mean.
name. Sam.
And you roofie them, and when they wake up in the hotel room, you force them to code you a video chat app before you release them.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounded very legal.
Well, it's
It
only
doesn't to
illegal
me.
if you get caught.
Oh, WebRTC. That is what I use for my Flutter app. WebRTC. That is so juicy.
Yeah, I mean the like if you have a web app, then all you would have to do is create Blazor components around it and then use the same libraries and it should work in Maui. So that's what I'm trying to demonstrate, but I got an error because I don't have dependency injection stuff, right? Let me get my dependency injections in there.
Dependency injection. Okay, so I want to stream peer-to-peer with WebRTC.
I'll just set up a WebSocket connection. Or a pure socket connection. I mean, hell. If it's in a Maui app, you should be able to just open up a raw socket, right?
Whatever you can do with your normal application that you would design. Like, think of the Maui portion of your application as the front end project.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your whatever you're connecting to in the back end, whether that's using SignalR to establish a socket connection of some sort or other technologies. It's still just .NET running on your computer that you are communicating. Think of it as a console app for all of everything else.
Yeah.
With your presentation
Everyone
layer
is
WPF and or Blazor.
Yeah. I feel that everyone is staring themselves blind at like, oh, so this is REST and this is gRPC and this is that and whatever, different kinds of RPC calls. But I mean, you have access to raw sockets, and sometimes that can be the better solution. Just open a socket and send it. Skip all the handshaking, all the problems. Just here is data. If you control both ends, I mean. Would you concur?
I do. Yeah, if you have the know-how and the ability to just use the socket itself and establish the connection and manage it yourself, then why put the overhead of a framework? Unless that framework is well designed, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sometimes a well-designed framework is awesome for some things and terrible for others. I mean, I love REST and I love gRPC. I haven't done enough gRPC to be an expert, but I love the idea of it. But sometimes there are better options. Sometimes I even liked SOAP. And some people
Yeah,
throw up when I say that.
just like I did a little
I
bit.
just did.
But I mean,
Oh
it
my
was
goodness.
had some upsides because I mean, you
No.
just put something up out there. Someone took their tooling, which you still need to use gRPC. So they took their tooling, they pointed it at a WSDL file, WSDL, whatever, and they got the entire definition of your entire API surface with comments, with information, with types. Just code gen that stuff, make a call, hands off, it ends up on the server. Who cares about, the envelope and stuff like that unless you're doing the code gen part? And if I go in and change a REST API, I mean, I can't just change it willy-nilly because that will break all existing integrations anyway. So I feel that REST had problems. I'll give you that. I mean, it was really talky. Everything turned into huge messages that had to be sent over, but it did have its upsides, and you can't just throw up in the general direction just because someone says the name.
I
Is
can
my
too.
opinion.
Watch me do it.
I can't stop you.
So.
Oh, watch me. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. I mean, what do you hate about REST? Sorry, what do you hate about SOAP?
That
XML?
it was not standardized, essentially. I mean, there's like you would have
Isn't
to
it?
know the structure. Oh, dang it. I had an argument for it, I promise. I just can't think of it. There was something about SOAP essentially not being a standard protocol. One place could implement their SOAP mechanism one way, and then another place
Oh
could
yeah, then it's
implement
horrible.
theirs another way. And then they would have to, like, if they needed to communicate with each other using SOAP, they would need to trade information about how exactly to get a hold of their stuff. As opposed to something like alternatives, like a REST API where you just have endpoints that you call to in a standardized way and you get a standardized type of HTTP response.
Yeah, but that can also be JSON or XML or whatever if you're down on too low a level.
Right, but
everyone kind of decided that it would be JSON, but you could technically send XML as well. There's nothing stopping you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I will concede that point. I didn't know there were differences in the implementation because the standard was poorly written. I did not know that. So everything that I ever used it for,
where I read
was
that,
under
but I read it recently.
It was under umbrella of point your tools to the file and it works.
Why is my HTTP client not getting injected?
So Prog, why do you hate it? Or did you just fall for the group pressure?
So I did a lot of WordPress stuff with it. It could be that it has been linked to WordPress.
Oh, the experience of using
I
it
mean,
with
I can understand you throwing up if you connect it to WordPress, definitely. And I think I'm allowed to say that because I have worked a tiny bit at least with WordPress, and it was horrible.
I quit my job because of it.
They wanted you to do WordPress, and you were like, screw this, I quit.
I tried. Jesus fucking Christ. WordPress is the biggest. I mean, okay, it's the most used thing, but that is because people just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the entire code is just so backwards. If you want to do anything that's not, oh, I installed a theme and changed the colors more or less, then it gets complicated real quick and kind of horrible.
I have no idea what Scott just said, but I think he just cursed you out.
Oh,
yes.
He's asking, are you speaking Danish?
No, because Danish is a garbage language for garbage people.
And just
I
look at
think
that
that's
syntax.
the second or third time today that I say that.
Oh, so that syntax is speak you now Danish.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no.
It's verb, subject, object. Wait, verb, object, subject. Makes sense.
It's verb, subject, temporal modifier, and then I don't know. Is language a subject?
Now,
Maybe it is.
All right, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
They're even syntactically wrong.
They're just different than our.
Right.
What if the rest of? What if America? Well, I know America is syntactically wrong, but whatever.
No.
Let's just put it like this: the Danish count like the Germans, which is backwards.
Oh yeah, like 22.
Yeah, 5 and 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing that the Danish also have, they count in like quarts, or
yeah,
they count in quarts, and then they expect people to understand that crap they say.
2 quarts, 5 cents, and $5.
Yes, that's how they count.
It's like.
So I have no knowledge of this.
And then you add the most southern drawl you can imagine on top of that, and you imagine the person being drunk. And you have Danish.
And speaking very fast.
Yes, a fast,
50
drunken southern drawl.
Half 60. Anyway, I was showing real quick. I just launched the application in the desktop version, and now I'm going to launch it in mobile. And it's exactly the same UI that I'm using for the web version, but mobile isn't going to launch.
How do you deal with responsive layouts?
CSS. I mean, I haven't done it in this app, but it would be.
Oh, you're using Blazor WebView. All right.
Yep. Yeah, because it would be through the Blazor WebView. So whatever you can do.
Yes, it's just a different viewpoint size.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why the Android one didn't run. Because
I haven't done any MAUI, but responsiveness in WPF is kind of horrible to work with.
I would assume. Yeah, I really don't want to touch WPF much, other than being able to manipulate the shell or the window or whatever the application is running in.
It's called a Chrome, and don't touch it, please, for the love of God.
Maybe. So it's also, you don't have to use Chrome, the Chrome, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You don't have to use that in order to manipulate the Windows colors and layout and stuff like that. Right now, they did make a toolbar SDK, for example, which probably under the covers does manipulate the Chrome, whatever it's called, Chrome shell.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know.
I mean, Studio manipulates it because the menu is in the Chrome, right?
Yes. Yeah, like this thing here. So, and you can't see it because it'll take a minute for it to update for you. Showing the name of the project in the title bar with a manipulatable data entry input for search, and then the menu to the left of it, and then the control buttons to the right with this button. Unless you're going
Instead
to
of just have an icon, name, and the minimize, maximize, and
yeah. And then the thing that I ran into was when I was trying to customize the title bar, I lose the drag drop zone. So you can't click to drag it anymore. And then it was a mess. It was a mess.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is time for me to go back to work, though.
No.
10 minutes ago. And I'm supposed to meet back with my project manager.
This feels like a their problem, not a you problem. It's a them problem.
Did you start that? Nobody answered, though. Well, actually, yeah. 2 people answered. Dukasoft started a poll. that no one noticed except for Scott.
No.
And that, Jesus, this is
That's
wrong.
hilarious.
This is a lie.
I mean, it's a proven poll in our chat. The majority says
Now I'm sad. Now I'm
the
sad.
Danes win because Danish people is aware. Oh my goodness! What a great way to
This is not good,
finish off
Findle.
that.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
Oh my goodness!
What are we gonna do about this?
Play the fail zone.
We
That's
can,
what I love it.
So I I'm 50% converted to Maui now after I looked at the link I sent.
Oh yeah.
But I have a question.
Hi, I'll try to answer.
What is the pricing to host an app in this stuff?
So the Maui application portion of it is an installable. It's going to be installed on the machine the same way that you would download an APK, install it on your phone. So through the App Store for iOS, whatever their file type is, for Windows, the Windows Store, or just an executable installer. You don't have to have a backend at all. It could be fully self-contained. You're just writing all of the components, if you will, all of the content of it. You have the opportunity to write it with Blazor and target all of these different platforms. And then if you wanted, you could have a hosting model where you have some backend service that it can call into. That's sitting on Azure, AWS, wherever.
Yeah, and isn't that kind of why if you do Blazor WASM, you can pretty much just slot it into a Maui application since you can keep the logic
provided you architected
somewhere else
all
and
of
have
your
database and everything.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to make a chat app where people are matched in a way. So I think I need to make some sort of lobby room. Oh, I'm starting
Is this for dating, for matching people? And if so, can you give me a cheat code?
It's not for dating.
He's gonna make Second Life using Blazor in Maui.
The point is that
it was called Meta.
You know, if you can do this in Maui or whatever, it can be used for a lot of purposes. We can make like a people that like horses dating app.
Yeah.
For people that
or
like
a Thindle can select anyone he wants and match with them.
Use a triangle, and then you put your values on each point, and then you score all of the Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, you score.
I'm just saying it can be applied anywhere.
Nice. That's
it
nice.
Really can. So, prog testing. I put this link in chat for their podcast that has a Maui project. Yeah, shared Maui Live, and then you just write your structure the way that you would normally make an app with your business logic separate from your presentation layer, and you put whatever presentation layer you want on top of your services, however you architect it. And so the Maui app is just a way for you to present your application on those multiple devices. However, the benefit is based on the device that you're running on, you have access to the different components of that device: camera, microphone, gyrometer, etc.
A rheumatoid.
A rheumbatoid?
Gerumbatoid? Yeah, okay.
I have no idea what you said.
No, nor did I. That was not a language. That was a sound.
Hey, I do that.
That was Danish. I just spoke
exactly.
Danish.
It was a bad sound.
Plausible.
I didn't even know it was Danish, and I still nailed it.
Yes. I hope
I'm gonna go
that
to this
Scrub
screen because
doesn't.
if I don't, we're gonna keep going forever, and I really need to call back my project manager.
So, quick question before you leave.
Of course.
Is Jern here, or did he actually rage quit?
I don't know. He could be lurking. He could be not actively paying attention. He could be gone. I don't know.
Aww.
But he does start streaming at 2 o'clock, or in what, 1.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he'll
So you could
be
always
here,
find him there.
so we didn't ruin him. I don't think we ruined him. But there's a small risk of us being banned.
Oh no, I fully accept any fallout that comes with Community Day.
Yeah,
Because
but
if I
wasn't
didn't,
it?
then I wouldn't have it.
Yeah, but I don't think you called him British. So I think
Oh
you're
yeah.
kind of fine.
Oh,
Oh, you
yeah.
did?
Yes,
Oh
you
no,
did.
no. I was just reading
Oh, no,
chat.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. So I think I'm
It was
screwed.
actually Dukasov, but yeah.
Yeah, but I did too, so I'm screwed. I'm never
You are
ever
on
getting
his
another shout
unfriended
out from him.
list.
Yes. Yes.
He's not
Anyways,
that kind of guy.
Lion, protestant, have a wonderful, wonderful day and evening.
And
In
thanks
that
for hanging
order.
out with us.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. Take care, guys, and take care, chat.
No, you're not going to live before I have the answer. Are you streaming tomorrow?
I believe I am.
What time? What time Swedish time?
Maybe around 4 or 5, so
I'm
20
looking
hours
at
or so.
your schedule.
Yeah,
You
I
are not-
have no schedule. 19 to 20 hours from now.
Okay, good. So in the evening, Sunday, sometime?
Yeah, early evening.
Which is mid to late morning for us in the US. Or
Yes,
I guess
so be there.
morning to afternoon. Late morning to
You can have
early.
breakfast and watch me.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
May you have juice.
Yes, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
You were saying something.
Are you actually
Back.
leaving?
Yeah, I was gonna end the stream.
Okay, so you are leaving. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and then I need to call my project manager.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
Bye.
So, thank you all for being here today. That was Community Day. Yes, we will be posting this one on the YouTubes because I have a pretty good feeling that all of the audio did get captured this time, and it's not just me staring at the screen blankly, nodding my head on occasion like it was in that other video. Are you actually leaving? No, he just wanted me to leave. Thindle. It was a ploy to get Thindle out of the chat, out of the voice channel. It's terrible. I will be back again on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Until we have daylight savings, that's still UTC -6. I don't really know when daylight savings is, but you'll find out. Thindle got his own shout out. Speaking of shout out, oops, it should be /shout out. Thindle. You'll see a thingy up at the top that if you're not following Thindle, you will have the opportunity to click on the heart that says follow him. He will be streaming again tomorrow. He said about 20-ish hours from now, so we can definitely see that. You can't fully control automated realms, but regular shoutouts are allowed by anyone because I don't have anything special with the shoutout. It's just check out this channel. So I didn't protect shoutout behind any kind of paywall. You're good. Anyone can do a shoutout. But now the real shoutout, which I don't think I have on this screen, so you won't see it anyway. You might hear him though. Maybe I can add him real quick. Oh, yeah, you can.
Let's load it. Perfect. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Is it though?
really have a hard time getting used to this triple equals.
Oh gosh, are you doing
Again, me and
JavaScript?
JavaScript, not best of friends. But at least I didn't use jQuery this time.
Yeah.
Win!
I love your cat though. Your cat looks awesome. So soft. It'll make it stop. So anyway, that was Spindle. Definitely feel free to check him out. He's working on modernizing some legacy applications, moving them from web forms to MVC to .NET Core eventually, Blazor maybe, etc., etc. He's doing a lot of stuff that I really enjoy doing myself and watching people do. So yeah, check him out when he's live. That's going to be it for me for the weekend. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. See you again on the next time you're here. Blazor is 100% certain. That's awesome. Just not quite yet. Understandable. So yeah, enjoy. Video will be posted on YouTube at least 24 hours after we end the stream. And we have Discord. We have the project. I'll check in my project now that I got the Maui app to build, even though I didn't do very much different other than add the HTTP client. I'll check in the current version so that the server is at the latest. And yeah. Also, many hearts to Irish John Games from Dugasoft. He was just messing. He didn't mean to step on toes. He was just playing. But yeah. I'll be over, most likely lurking in his stream with the audio off while I'm in the remaining meetings for the day. You think he added another equal in the clip and it started working? Oh gosh. All right. Ciao for now. Cheers. Bye.